So is this sort of an 80? Are you trying to do like an 80-20 sort of thing, or are you just, or it's just about all about the experimenting with the different mechanics?
Well, I just wanted to do this for a long time, and so as far as like mashups, because I thought it was an interesting idea. So this is my little side trip into mashing up mechanics. But I'm going to stop doing it now and start just doing other interesting mechanics and game ideas that I have.
So from a keyword perspective, AMU-LL is not,
Yeah.
nobody's
So
going
it
to search for
doesn't
that.
mean
So
much.
yeah.
I ran into a problem here where you're not allowed. Google is really clamped down. You are not allowed to use the word flappy or asteroids, or you traipse even a little bit across the line
Even in your keywords or in your title?
anywhere.
Wow.
Anywhere except for I put it in the description inside the game, the actual text. So if you play the game, there's a help. You can bring that up. It'll say that this is a mashup of asteroids and lunar lander or whatever.
And I think your descriptive text is searchable in Google Play, correct? Unlike iOS.
Oh yeah, the description here on the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's all what do you call it? Crawled by the
Well, that's
Google.
nice. I mean, that at least reduces some of the, you know.
That's why they jump on you though, because they don't want spam. That's what they basically call it. They call it keyword spamming.
You
So
know,
I
I
got
think it's
a
a
couple
well.
of really nasty letters from Google when I initially said, "Hey, this is a mashup experiment of these mechanics." I was very clear. I wasn't saying I'm making asteroids or lunar lander or Flappy Bird. I'm saying this is an experiment and this is what I'm doing. But they didn't. They don't rate it. It's just a
Yeah.
computer. It says violation.
I think it's a well-intentioned fix to a problem that is a problem, but I think there's bound to be some innocence sort of swept up in it, like yourself.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand where they're coming from.
No, I
So
wouldn't go that far. I mean, it's,
I reduced it. But you wouldn't go so far that I understand, or that
No, no, you said that you're innocent like you.
oh, the innocent part. I knew there was something in there negative. So
So
it's not
so you
very important.
so at this point you're gonna do what? You're going to market them how? I mean, because if nobody looks for those keywords and nobody knows to look for that name.
So how am I going to market this? Really, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to focus on the individual apps. I'm going to get further along in my goal, and then I'm going to start talking about that in specific outlets and say, hey, this was my goal. This is how many I've gotten done. This is how I achieved it. Start talking about that kind of thing, answering questions like the one you asked me, like how are you monetizing this, or what's going on with these? Why do these seem so similar to each other?
And how are you going to monetize this?
So how am I? Yeah. So these first 5 are actually the first 4. I take it back. Are ad-based games, and I did an experiment also with this, which I will talk about later. Probably write like a short article. And what I did is you play the game, and it's got a banner ad at the top and a interstitial ad every once in a while when you get kicked out of the game back to the menu. No, I take it back. Only banner ads. And if you want to get, the problem is you're playing this, and if you look at the screenshot, the banner ad basically pushes this whole bit down. So it gives you a little bit less play space, and you can't really see what's going on quite as well. So, but if you want to get rid of that, instead of approaching it the normal way, which is give me money and I'll turn off the ads, I basically give people the option to watch a Vungle video, and that turns off ads in the game for 10 minutes. So watch a video, turn off the ads, then you can see the entire screen. It makes it more playable, a little bit more pleasant. So if people don't want to pay, fine, there's ads. People who want to watch one video and play it for a while, which is probably 10 minutes anyways, also good.
That's an interesting mechanic to do the time-based thing. Now, do you include in an app purchase as a third option of, hey, I love this game and I'll unlock it forever?
Yeah, I chose not to simply because last week we were talking about this. I think we said it a few times. You get to a point when you're developing your game, and you're like, I got all this working, but I would really like to be able to do this one more thing. Do I go do that, or do I just pull the trigger and release? And at the time, I was having some problems with my in-app purchase module, so I said, forget it. I'm just going to pull the trigger. And then I got that fixed, and I went to a different monetization scheme for Red and Dead 2, which is it is interstitial ads that come up occasionally, and then the in-app purchase to disable the ads. And I took Sergey's advice. Actually, Sergey gave me some feedback on this game. I kept the coloration. He didn't like the colors, or he thought the colors were bad, but I like it. I'm going to stick with it. But one thing that I did in this game, so this game, like I said, is this navigation game where it's an endless runner type of game. You're going up here trying to avoid obstacles. Basically, you hit anything red, the game's over. Pretty simple. Red and dead. One thing that you can do to change this game is you can have more or less fuel as a challenge. Now, previously, I had thought I was going to do an in-app purchase to purchase more, enable more fuel, but Sergey pointed out that basically that was paying to win. So I went to a system where you can basically you play until you reach a certain level and it unlocks more fuel, and then you play at that level, reach another level, unlocks more fuel until if you play it and enjoy it, you increase the ability to go forward, basically.
And so you said play to win. So that's an interesting concept.
Paying to win?
Paying to win.
Yeah, it's something that is very frequently seen in today's in-app purchase.
I'm just thinking about a big old button that says pay to win.
Let's not go there. So, anyways, just released.
It would be an interesting social experiment. You just make a game with the shiny red button.
Yeah.
Pay to win. I
You
know.
like winning? 99 cents, and you get to be a winner.
That's right. You are the winner.
I've considered it, my friends. I have considered it. I've been disillusioned enough to try it, but almost try it.
But no, I like this game. I beta tested it as well, and I did have a little bit of a mental difficulty with the mechanic, of launching.
I took your feedback too, Charles. I changed the tutorial.
Well, yeah, I think once I got the hang of it, once I understood exactly what was going on there, then I was, then it was a joy to play, right? I was like, oh, now I see the point. And over there, right on there, click on the last, I guess maybe almost the last screenshot there, where it's got the no, next one. Yeah, that one. That one right there. Believe it or not, I spent a lot of time just trying to get the square through that opening right there, and that's because I didn't at the very first I didn't understand how to manipulate the power settings for the block. So getting it through that opening for me was torture.
Mm-hmm.
But
another thing I did that I very big experiment for me. I'm going to do this again. Is video tutorials or video hints. So when you mess up, you die a certain number of times, or you make a mistake, there's certain trigger events. The game will one time only for that session play a video saying, "Hey, you made this mistake. This is what you did. Don't do it."
The guys from Digaway did something like that, right? I think.
I was inspired by Digaway.
Yeah, and that seems to make sense, right? I mean, you don't need to give somebody an in-depth tutorial if they can just sort of get it. But if they don't get it, now it's the time to help them along.
Yeah.
Would you do a video like an actual video MOV file or something like that, or would you do just a animated GIF or something?
It's an MP4, and what happens is a little pop-up comes up here. It doesn't take up the whole screen, and it's got a little title that tells you basically like this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
The mistake you made.
Yeah.
And then a video plays in the middle, and then some more text at the bottom that says this is how you resolve the problem.
But I guess my point is, would you just create an animated GIF or something like that?
No animated GIF. Did you say?
Yeah. Something maybe a little lighter weight.
No, you can't play an animated GIF.
No, but it's something I've thought about myself with tutorials. Sometimes it goes, okay, well, do I pre-render a video, which depending on the size of it could potentially bulk up your app, or I said, do I hard code progression of events in my, within a scene, basically? Do I recreate this, in code?
Well, or you could do a sprite sheet, right? So you could have, talking about the animated GIF concept, you just have a series of images that you flip through, and then that's a video, air quotes. Just curious, just looking for, I mean, what's the size of the video? Maybe it's.
There's 4 videos. I'm showing you on the screen here. There's 4 videos. There's actually more source code, and they do pump up the size. They're about half a meg if you add them up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're fairly reduced.
Yeah, but you still wind up, image-wise, you probably still wind up equaling that, right? Doing some sort of.
You can't avoid it if you want to have any fidelity whatsoever.
Right.